watching the Steve Harvey Show as an adult. I'ma just say it, Steve Hightower and Regina Greer were one of the most toxic situations on our TV screen. And even though Regina was so fire, dressed well every single episode, even became his boss, she still was the chunky girl he picked on in high school. And this situation showed us that there are a lot of women that are in love with their bullies. I know two personally that actually married their bullies. I'm like, what? And now that they told us allegedly the box cut Steve wore was fake, I can't unsee it. Especially after the seasons progressed, you can see the changes. And sis was fire, but he kept making slick digs at her every episode, taking her back to those traumatic experiences when she was in school. But when she chose to marry Jordan after he confessed his love for her, I low-key thought she finally knew her worth and knew she did not deserve anything close to Mr. Hightower. The child, I guess she always loved being his piggy Greer. They need to go on a double date with these two. Side note, would have loved to see a spin-off show with the High Tops. Their chemistry every time they showed up was always on fire, would have loved it. Said and Levita, honestly, I wanted them to be a couple in real life. Their chemistry was unmatched and they were the definition of teamwork. Once they found each other, no one else mattered. But the reason why Levita and Steve never got along is because she saw through him. Tried to make it like Steve was the prize. All these baddies had eyes for the box cut. But she always humbled him and let him know, okay, bruh, just because you wear suits and was in the high tops, that don't move me. And there was real sisterhood between Regina and Levita. Because even though Regina was her boss, they were really family for real. Because you know, and I know, that a lot of things Levita did at work, that could have gotten her fired. But her heart was always in the right place. We're also going to give Sed his flowers. Sed came through when it mattered most when it came down to Steve. Sed got Steve a job at the school and also saved him money when they became roommates. The High Tops were his group mates, but they only showed up when money was involved. But they had a brotherhood that wasn't tied to Steve's fame. Even though Steve was selfish 60% of the time, he did care about the students. Romeo Santana, the definition of I have a good heart, but I do not have loyalty to women. I thought he and Sophia were going to work at one point. I guess he thought like Gucci Mane. Girls are like buses. Miss one, next 15, one coming. Her name was Sarah. It was Sophia's best friend. Messy. Ladies, that's why they say never vent to your best friend about your man. Because Bullet had really wanted her and was willing to risk it all. But instead, she wanted to be in a group of women that Romeo was entertaining. I also have to say, Clyde was one of my favorite characters on the show. He always brought it, and it was hilarious. Lydia, Liza Gutman, and Coretta were great additions to the show. Coretta was tough, but she was also sweet and knew who she was. And low-key had chemistry with Romeo. I would have loved to see that. Lydia may have been nerdy and the oddball, but was very entertaining.